This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for January 26, 2023, detainees moved after standoff at Ocho Rios lockup. Several detainees were removed from the Ocho Rios lockup in St. Anne and taken to Portland after a standoff with the cops at the facility on Wednesday evening. Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, commander of the St. Anne Police Division, said that the incident occurred after the police tried to search a cell in which the men were. They reportedly verbally and physically attacked the cops and had to be subdued. One prisoner was taken to hospital for medical attention as a result of the clash. The police got reinforcement from the Jamaica Defense Force to bring the situation under control as a fire unit remained on standby. When the news arrived at the Ocho Rios police station, at least 4 prisoners were seen being taken from the building and being led to a truck under the watchful eyes of the security personnel. As news of the disturbance spread, a crowd of curious onlookers gathered in the vicinity of the station. While the police did not release details about the detainees involved in Wednesday's standoff, they pointed out that those implicated in the assault of another prisoner at the lockup last week were not involved. In the incident last week, part of which was captured in a video recording, a seemingly semi-conscious prisoner could be seen on the ground struggling to rise after apparently being attacked by fellow detainees. 5 prisoners have been charged in relation to the incident. Rio Cobre fisher folk displeased with fish kill compensation. Fisher folk and the small business operators who were affected by last July's major fish kill in the Rio Cobre have expressed the disappointment with the compensation package they received Wednesday and vowed to seek legal action. The payouts, according to the affected parties, were far lower than what they had submitted in claims to the National Environment and Planning Agency for approval. Representatives from NEPA handed out 120 checks, each valued at just over $131,000 in a closed-door session at the Bogwalk Seventh-day Adventist Church on Wednesday. Ashka Hart, who has made a living from fishing in the Rio Cobre for 47 years, told the news that the sum he received was inadequate. Stakeholders were prohibited from fishing for days until technical officials ruled the water safe. "This cannot help me. The amount of suffering I go through since last year until now is rough," said Hart, who has resolved to reinvest the funds in goat farming. "If they had restocked the river with fish like they promised, things wouldn't be so bad. This is a drop in the bucket," said Wilton Nesbeth, who has made his livelihood from the river for many years. Nesbeth said he transitioned into farming after the fish kill, but intends to use the funds to purchase mesh wire to make fish traps. He is hopeful that the fish stock will be replenished. NEPA had served notice of intention to suspend the environmental license granted to bauxite company UC Russell Windalco over the fish kill. UC Russell reported on July 30 that effluent at its Yorton plant in St. Catherine overflowed into waterways. Christopher Thompson, another stakeholder, said he has been longing for the compensation. However, he too was disappointed about the amount dispensed. "This is not enough. Me not really satisfied because me not recover from the one them before," he disclosed while lamenting the failure of NEPA to restock the river with fish. NEPA had recommended $57.2 million in compensation to the affected fisher folk, but only $16 million was approved by the government. The sum was calculated using the average daily catch of each species of fish and the number of fishermen who were estimated to be in the area. The government drew down on Windalco's environmental performance bond of US $771,000 following the spillage of effluent. Opposition leader Mark Golding, who toured the area in the aftermath of the fish kill, had promised to help with restocking the river with fish, but this has not been forthcoming. Golding told the news Wednesday that he had contacted NEPA and requested a time frame for his donors to deliver the fish, but was told by the agency that they were awaiting cabinet approval. In the meantime, the opposition leader is questioning the justification for treating the fishermen less fortunate than other agencies such as NEPA and the National Irrigation Commission. The fisherfolk suffered the biggest reduction in percentage terms, and they are getting only 28%, while NEPA and the NIC are getting 100%, along with the National Water Commission getting 40% of the total allocation, Golden said. President of the Friends of the Rio Cobre, Kestenord Gordon, encouraged the fisherfolk to accept the initial payout while he seeks redress for full compensation in the courts. The news queries submitted to NEPA went unanswered up to press time Wednesday. No government bailout for financial institutions in crisis, says Prime Minister. In light of increasing concerns about the future of investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared that there will be no government bailout of any bank or investment firm experiencing a financial crisis. Speaking Tuesday evening at the annual Jamaica Stock Exchange Capital Markets Conference in Kingston, Mr. Holness admitted that the SSL saga has shaken the confidence of investors and other members of the public who use the financial system. But he warned the financial institutions that they will not receive any assistance from the government similar to the FinSAC rescue plan if bad actors in the financial sector put their clients' funds at risk.
Government will not socialize any debt, and we will not socialize the failure of our banks to be prudential and to protect their customers. Were we to do that, it would send a very bad signal to the banks and investment houses that they can be negligent and expect the bank to cover their negligence. That will not happen. That got us into a crisis which took us decades to get out of, which made the entire country poor. I am not aware of any systemic issues in the financial system that could cause contagion. But certainly, if actors in the sector or a common person is misinformed and consumes information that is incorrect, information that is false and misleading, it could impact the way in which economic actors make their financial decisions and create a crisis that does not need to exist. Our financial market is a regional leader. It gives Jamaica a competitive advantage, and we must protect it at all costs. That there will be absolutely no political interference, no political cover, no association. We want to get to the truth of this matter, to uncover it and to expose it, and to bring those responsible to account, and to secure justice for the victims.
Ball's lawyers in discussion with SSL's temporary manager. Lawyers representing Olympian Usain Bolt are in discussion with a temporary manager of Stocks and Securities Limited, Kenneth Tomlinson. Attorney Linton Gordon told the news on Wednesday afternoon that his team met with the temporary manager last Thursday. He has provided us with some of the documents and has promised to get the rest to us, so we have stayed our hand pending the supply of those documents, the attorney revealed. Mr. Gordon said it is likely that the Sprinter legend will have to file a lawsuit in a bid to recover the more than US $12.7 million investment lost at the Stocks and Securities Limited.
He has provided us with some of the documents and has promised to get the rest to us. So we have stayed our hand pending the supply of those documents, which include accounts. We have received documents which we are going through with our client, and that will determine the nature of the next legal step we take. It's likely, but other things are promised us, and if they point to a resolution, we are happy with it.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.